Welcome to a journey through 125 years of American technological innovation. From the early days of steel mills and assembly lines to the rise of artificial intelligence, the United States has shaped the global landscape of technology. This video traces the defining eras, companies, and breakthroughs that built the modern world. We'll explore how each period brought new ideas, industries, and ways of life, setting the stage for the future. Whether you're fascinated by history, business, or the latest tech trends, this story reveals how American ingenuity continues to drive progress. Let's begin by setting the foundation for this remarkable transformation. The dawn of the 20th century marked the industrial foundation of American technology. Steel and finance giants like Andrew Carnegie and J.P. Morgan consolidated industries, creating powerful corporations that defined early capitalism. Electricity, pioneered by Thomas Edison, replaced steam power and electrified factories and cities, enabling a new scale of production. Aviation took flight with the Wright brothers in 1903, foreshadowing a century of aerospace innovation. These developments laid the groundwork for the technological revolutions to come, transforming the economy and society in profound ways. Andrew Carnegie and J.P. Morgan were instrumental in shaping the industrial landscape. Carnegie's steel empire provided the backbone for infrastructure, while Morgan's financial strategies consolidated industries, creating massive corporations. Their influence extended beyond business, setting standards for corporate governance and economic power. The era saw the rise of monopolies and trusts, which would later be challenged by antitrust laws. The legacy of these titans is still felt today, as their models of industrial organization paved the way for future technological giants. Thomas Edison revolutionized the way Americans lived and worked by introducing the electric grid. Electricity replaced steam power, lighting up factories and homes, and enabling a new scale of industrial production. Edison's innovations made it possible for cities to grow rapidly and for businesses to operate more efficiently. The widespread adoption of electricity set the stage for future technological advancements, including communication and computing. Edison's legacy is a testament to the transformative power of innovation. In 1903, the Wright brothers achieved the first powered flight, launching the aviation age. Their breakthrough foreshadowed a century of aerospace innovation, from commercial airlines to space exploration. Aviation transformed transportation, connecting distant regions and enabling new economic opportunities. The spirit of experimentation and engineering that defined this era continues to inspire technological progress. The Wright brothers' legacy is a reminder of how bold ideas can reshape the world. The next era saw the rise of mass production, driven by Henry Ford's moving assembly line. Ford Motor Company made automobiles affordable for ordinary Americans, revolutionizing transportation and manufacturing. Mass production principles spread across industries, increasing efficiency and lowering costs. Expanded rail networks delivered consumer goods nationwide, while scientific management maximized factory productivity. This period cemented corporate control over manufacturing and set the stage for consumer culture. Henry Ford pioneered the moving assembly line in 1913, drastically reducing production times and costs. This innovation made cars accessible to millions, transforming American society. Ford's methods were adopted by other industries, leading to mass production of consumer goods. The assembly line became a symbol of efficiency and progress, shaping the modern workplace. Ford's legacy is evident in today's manufacturing practices, where speed and scale remain central. The mass production era saw consumer goods reach American households at scale. Rail networks expanded, delivering products nationwide and fueling economic growth. Affordable goods improved living standards and created new markets. The rise of consumer culture changed the way people lived, worked, and shopped. This period marked the beginning of modern retail and distribution systems, laying the foundation for future innovations in commerce. Scientific management, also known as Taylorism, maximized factory efficiency during this era. By analyzing workflows and optimizing tasks, companies increased productivity and reduced waste. Taylorism became the standard for industrial operations, influencing management practices across sectors. The focus on efficiency and control shaped the corporate landscape, paving the way for large-scale manufacturing and organizational growth. World War II accelerated technological innovation, pushing American industry to new heights. Advances in aviation, radar, and electronics were driven by wartime needs. After the war, prosperity spawned massive industrial conglomerates, while radio and television bridged regional communication gaps. Bell Labs pioneered the transistor and early computing components, laying the scientific groundwork for the digital revolution. This era marked the beginning of global expansion and technological leadership. World War II forced rapid advances in aviation, radar, and electronics. The urgency of war drove innovation, resulting in new technologies that would later shape civilian industries. American industry reached unprecedented technological heights, setting the stage for post-war prosperity. The lessons learned during this period influenced future research and development, making the United States a global leader in technology. After World War II, prosperity led to the rise of massive industrial conglomerates. Companies diversified, expanding into new markets and technologies. Radio and television began bridging communication gaps, connecting Americans across regions. The post-war era saw the emergence of corporate giants that would dominate the economy for decades. This period set the stage for the digital revolution, as new forms of media and communication became central to daily life. Bell Labs pioneered the transistor and early computing components, laying the groundwork for the digital revolution. Their innovations enabled new forms of communication and data processing, transforming industries and society. Bell Labs became a model for research and development, inspiring future generations of scientists and engineers. The impact of their breakthroughs is still felt today, as modern technology builds on their foundations. The Silicon Dawn era saw the emergence of a new geography of innovation. Mainframe computers became the backbone of government and corporate data processing. Semiconductor firms, venture capitalists, and research universities in Northern California created the world's first technology innovation district, later known as Silicon Valley. Chip miniaturization enabled smaller, faster electronic devices, transforming consumer electronics and defense systems alike. This period marked the shift from industrial to digital technology. Mainframe computers became essential for government and corporate data processing. These massive machines handled complex calculations and large volumes of information, enabling new levels of efficiency and control. Mainframes laid the foundation for modern computing, influencing the design of future systems. Their impact is still seen in today's enterprise technology, where reliability and scalability remain crucial. Semiconductor technology enabled the miniaturization of electronic chips, making devices smaller and faster. This breakthrough transformed consumer electronics, defense systems, and industrial applications. The ability to pack more power into smaller components revolutionized the way people interacted with technology. Semiconductors became the driving force behind the digital age, powering everything from computers to smartphones. Intel's microprocessors shifted computing from room-sized mainframes to desktop machines. This democratized access to digital power, making computers available to individuals and small businesses. The rise of microcomputing changed the way people worked, learned, and communicated. Intel's innovation paved the way for the personal computing revolution, setting new standards for performance and accessibility. Risk capital flooded California's Santa Clara Valley, funding startups and birthing the ecosystem known as Silicon Valley. Venture capitalists played a crucial role in supporting innovation, enabling entrepreneurs to take risks and scale new ideas. The Silicon Valley model became a blueprint for technology districts worldwide, fostering collaboration and rapid growth. This era marked the beginning of a new approach to business and investment in technology. The personal computing era brought digital tools into homes and offices. Apple and Microsoft made computers accessible to millions, changing how people worked, learned, and played. Graphical user interfaces replaced command line prompts, making technology more intuitive. Early networking technologies connected individual computers, laying the groundwork for global communication networks. Software evolved into a consumer product, creating new industries and business models. Apple and Microsoft revolutionized personal computing, making digital tools accessible to everyday users. Their innovations brought computers into homes and offices, transforming daily life. The introduction of graphical interfaces made technology more user-friendly, encouraging widespread adoption. Apple and Microsoft set the stage for the digital age, where computing became an essential part of modern living. Graphical user interfaces, GUIs, replaced command line prompts, making computers easier to use. Visual interactions became the norm, fundamentally changing how humans engage with digital information. GUIs opened technology to a broader audience, enabling creativity and productivity. This shift marked a turning point in the relationship between people and machines, setting the stage for future innovations in user experience. Networking technologies connected individual computers, laying the groundwork for global communication networks. Early networks enabled collaboration and information sharing, transforming business and education. The development of networking paved the way for the Internet, which would soon revolutionize how people connect and communicate. This era marked the beginning of a new age of connectivity. Software evolved from a niche enterprise tool into a pervasive consumer product. New industries and business models emerged, driven by the demand for digital solutions. Software became central to daily life, powering everything from productivity to entertainment. The rise of software as a product transformed the economy, creating opportunities for innovation and growth. The Internet era began with the World Wide Web becoming a commercial engine. Companies like Amazon and Google led the way, replacing traditional retail models and changing consumer behavior. Broadband enabled new media, social platforms, and instant global communication. Tech companies became the most valuable entities on the stock market, marking a fundamental shift in the economy and society. E-commerce replaced traditional retail models, fundamentally changing how people shop and interact with businesses. Online platforms offered convenience, variety, and instant access to products and services. Companies like Amazon became household names, setting new standards for customer experience. The rise of e-commerce transformed the economy, creating new opportunities and challenges for businesses and consumers alike. Broadband internet enabled new forms of media, social platforms, and instant global communication. Streaming services, online news, and social networks became central to daily life. Broadband transformed how people consume information and entertainment, making it possible to connect and share in real time. This era marked the beginning of the digital media revolution, reshaping culture and society. Tech companies became the most valuable entities on the stock market, reflecting their central role in the economy. The rise of digital platforms and services created new business models and opportunities for growth. Companies like Google and Amazon set the pace for innovation, shaping the future of commerce, media, and communication. The dominance of tech firms marked a fundamental shift in economic power. The mobile and cloud revolution placed internet access in every pocket. Smartphones transformed communication and media consumption, creating the app economy. Corporate infrastructure shifted from on-site servers to scalable internet services, enabling startups to compete with established enterprises. Subscription-based software became the new standard for corporate revenue, while social media platforms reshaped global political discourse and personal connections. Smartphones placed internet access in every pocket, changing how billions of people communicate and consume media. The app economy emerged, offering new services and experiences. Mobile devices became essential tools for work, entertainment, and social interaction. The rise of smartphones marked a new era of connectivity and convenience, shaping the way people live and interact. Corporate infrastructure shifted from on-site servers to scalable internet services. Cloud computing enabled startups to compete with established enterprises, offering flexibility and efficiency. Businesses adopted cloud solutions for data storage, processing, and collaboration. The cloud revolution transformed how companies operate, making technology more accessible and cost-effective. Subscription-based software became the new standard for corporate revenue, replacing one-time license purchases. SaaS models offered continuous updates and support, making software more flexible and scalable. Businesses adopted SaaS solutions for everything from productivity to customer management. The shift to subscription software changed how companies buy and use technology, creating new opportunities for growth. Social media platforms reshaped global political discourse and personal connections. They became the primary channels for news and public conversation, influencing culture and society. Social networks enabled new forms of communication, collaboration, and activism. The rise of social media marked a fundamental shift in how people interact and share information. The artificial intelligence era represents the most significant shift since the internet. Generative AI and large language models are redefining technology, with tech giants racing to embed machine learning into every software layer. Focus turns to ethical data usage, algorithm transparency, and automation of cognitive labor. The economy pivots toward AI-driven productivity, marking a new chapter in technological progress. Generative AI and large language models are at the forefront of technological innovation. Companies like OpenAI, Anthropic, and Google DeepMind lead the race, developing advanced algorithms that can create content, solve problems, and automate tasks. The impact of generative AI is felt across industries, from healthcare to finance. As AI becomes more integrated into daily life, questions of ethics and governance become central. As AI becomes more powerful, ethical data usage and algorithm transparency are central policy issues. Tech companies focus on responsible development, ensuring that automation and data rights are protected. Governance frameworks are developed to address concerns about bias, privacy, and accountability. The conversation around AI ethics shapes the future of technology, influencing how it is adopted and regulated. Automation is increasingly applied to cognitive labor across knowledge industries. AI systems handle tasks that once required human intelligence, from data analysis to creative work. The shift toward automation changes the nature of work, creating new opportunities and challenges. As cognitive labor becomes automated, the economy pivots toward AI-driven productivity and innovation. As we look to the future, technology companies lead the shift toward quantum computing, robotics, and sustainable energy. Quantum systems promise to solve problems beyond classical computing's reach, from drug discovery to cryptography. Advanced robotics reshape manufacturing, logistics, and healthcare delivery. Tech firms invest heavily in clean energy solutions, recognizing that long-term growth depends on environmental responsibility and energy efficiency. Quantum computing represents a new frontier in technology, capable of solving problems beyond classical computing. These systems offer unprecedented power for tasks like drug discovery, cryptography, and complex simulations. Tech companies are investing heavily in quantum research, aiming to unlock new possibilities for science and industry. The potential of quantum computing is vast, promising breakthroughs that could redefine the limits of technology. Advanced robotics and automation are reshaping manufacturing, logistics, and healthcare delivery. Digital and physical worlds continue to converge, creating new opportunities for efficiency and innovation. Robotics enable precise, scalable operations, transforming industries and improving quality of life. The integration of automation into daily life marks a new era of technological progress. Tech firms invest heavily in clean energy solutions, recognizing that long-term growth depends on environmental responsibility and energy efficiency. Sustainable energy technologies are central to the future of industry, offering new ways to power businesses and communities. The focus on sustainability reflects a broader commitment to innovation and social responsibility, shaping the next chapter of technological progress. The narrative of American innovation is increasingly driven by the integration of human creativity and machine intelligence. Technology companies focus on speed, scale, and deeper collaboration between people and machines. This synergy enables new forms of problem-solving, creativity, and productivity. The relentless pursuit of integration shapes the future, as humans and machines work together to achieve greater outcomes. American innovation is characterized by a relentless pursuit of progress. Technology companies push boundaries, seeking deeper integration between human creativity and machine intelligence. This drive for advancement fuels new discoveries and shapes the global landscape. The spirit of innovation remains central to the American story, inspiring future generations to dream big and achieve more. From steel mills to silicon chips and from assembly lines to artificial intelligence, the journey of American technology is a story of transformation. Each era brought new breakthroughs, companies, and ways of life. The legacy of innovation continues, shaping the world and setting the stage for future progress. As we look ahead, the possibilities are limitless, driven by the spirit of creativity and discovery. The story of American technology is far from over. As new challenges and opportunities arise, the spirit of innovation will continue to drive progress. From quantum computing to sustainable energy and from robotics to artificial intelligence, the future is full of promise. Technology companies will lead the way, shaping the next chapter of human history. The journey continues and the best is yet to come. Throughout this journey, several core concepts have defined the technological landscape: industrial foundation, mass production, innovation, digital transformation, and artificial intelligence. Each concept represents a turning point in the evolution of technology, shaping industries and society. Understanding these concepts helps us appreciate the complexity and impact of American innovation and guides us as we look to the future.